Alright, I am back, baby. And I forgot where I left off. No on that. Achievements. Okay, They'll Consume Venture. Level 17. And I'm level 28. And none of my guys are 17. Oh, Fisher. 17-ish. Let's check out my duty log, as it were. No, I don't want to travel. Duty, here we go. Duty finder. I know. Journal. That's it. It appears the Amalja mean to make an offering of you and your companions to the primal Ifrit. If it must end, let it be with a weapon in hand. Wait for the right moment and strike back at the beastman. Let's go here. Let's see where this takes us. This. Okay. What is the name of this town? Camp Drybone, that's right. What do we have here? Leaves of Drybone, levies. Leaves. All dogs go to hell. You need to go rescue Archon? Yeah, man. Why wouldn't I? Wait, are you not? Yeah, they're your friends. I would hope you'd want to rescue them. Okay. Let's get in the finder. Join. What's the ETA? 13 minutes. And I can't walk out of here in the meantime. It's like... How'd you guys get in here? They're tied up. Oh, I forget the back, man. It's been a while. What we got here? Flame Sergeant. Who's this girl? What is her class? Examine. Armitage. Well, 26 to my 28. Oh, got pretty hair. Yeah, my girl looks cuter. That's the entrance-ish. I mean... 14 minutes. Let's tally out of here. Line. Have I been here? Looks like I have. is this? Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have streamed. I'm getting tired already. It's been a while. Okay, let's check Danalan. What's the Black Shroud? Have I been here? That's far. Is this the Lavender Pits? No. What's this? Foreground Fog. That's town. Okay. I've been here. I should just go in somewhere, anywhere. There's a Laminsa. Let's go somewhere cheaper. Let's go to Camp Tribone. Okay. Already talked to that dude. Let's see about some dogs. Why do they go to hell? Looking for a bit of work, are we? I am, as a matter of fact. Well, it just so happens I'm looking for someone to put down some mongrels. 7 of the beast. Bloody things nearly overrun the area to the southeast of here. They attack the locals, livestock, odd that moves. You needn't show the foul things any mercy. Wonderful. My kind of quest. Okay, let's go kill some dogs. Down here. Alright. Can I get out this way? I'm thinking no. Let's summon this guy. I should do my hunting log too. I got one group to do to move on to the next. Am I going the right way? I am. So how much these 14-minute ETA, and I've got 6 minutes, so 8 more minutes. Oh, let's do this. You remember my rotation here. Got it. 7, alright. Yeah, shouldn't kill anything that moves, doggy. Alright. Six, one more. Alright. Dead dogs. Get up here. Ooh. Level appropriate. And they're next. What's the time? 8 minutes? Looks like. According to the game, I got 1 minute left before my dungeon starts. We must rescue Camp Dry Bones people. Since their idea of rescuing them was wait for someone to do it for them. Man. I wish that really worked, you know? I could have had somebody move my stuff in here. I lost my love to a pack of mongols 3 years past. We were to be wed. They tore him apart. When we finally chased them off, my love was in 7 pieces. Since then, I've asked every adventurer I see pass through here to slay 7 of the beasts. My vengeance is unceasing. But if I can spare just one other bride to be the suffering I have known, then it will be all worth it. You know, you can't do that, lady. That's impossible. What do we got here? Looks like a woman in need of meat. What a coincidence. Her husband is slain. She exacted her vengeance, and now she needs some meat. Yeah, why not? Let's give this a gander. It's you again. What impeccable timing. Oh, you needn't worry. I'm not going to ask you to put down any more mongrels on my dead fiancé's behalf. My fiancé is survived by a brother, though. He puts up at the Golden Bazaar, and he's asking that I bring him a load of Tuco meat. I see to it myself, but as you well know, I must stay here to send adventurers on mongrel hunts until every last one of the bloody beasts in New Eorzea is dead. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, would you care to fell some Tucos and obtain 5 chunks of their meat? Once you have enough, please deliver them to my late fiancé's brother, Vinegar, at the Golden Bazaar. Of course, Caitlin. That's what I'm here for, girl. Oh, it will have to wait. I have to rescue your friends. Alright. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. That rhymes. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. I remember. These guys feel like enemies, I think. I think he has other plans. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your Godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their hardened souls with your cleansing flame and mark your measure on. Bloody hells. I think those 2 as well. Well, what's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. pitiful children of man, made by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Oh, very scripted vocabulary there. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God. Looks like he's been turning your words on my bread. Huh? I'm like, what's going on here? Possible by what sorcery do you resist my master's will? I don't have the foggiest idea what you're talking about. Could it be your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Yeah, it belongs to me. Okay. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one, yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxes clear, thou art the godless blessed number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind, thine existence is not to be suffered. And yet you suffer. You shall suffer more. Okay, let's fight. I'm ready. Got one still in the cutscene. Cool. Someone who appreciates the story like I do. Let's rock and roll. The animation of that spell is pretty cool. This is really impact. I get the feeling you don't want to be there. Didn't hurt too bad. Oh, we got an ad. Must finish cast. Insta give stuff, damn. Which one? This guy is pretty fun. Cool abilities. Left behind a piece. Now you are mine. The 7 crystals, right? If there's anything like previous Final Fantasies. Excuse me. Alright, 2. Pray forgive my lateness. No, you are not forgiven, Thancred. We just killed the beast, and you were nowhere to be found. I was delayed by a congregation of Mamajal zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. I hear you, man. They just try to sacrifice us. Persistent lies. Freaking religious folk, why you gotta sacrifice people for your beliefs, you know? What about cowardice? See, the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those 2, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Yomi. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. The piss-poor attitude. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. Quite literally. But let us continue this conversation in a more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? Yeah, sure thing, Cred, as long as you don't flee. This way, sir. All missions should be considered dangerous. Cheeky bastard. So that was the mighty Ifrit. He doesn't look convinced. Oh, the Empire. What a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Udon interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the Vilth Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland. Given the troubles at court, we have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Olivia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meeting of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read. But I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. And what's that? Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Nah. It's like both sides refer to us as the adventurer. It's like, okay. Perhaps, but this is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task that is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Go to do as my lord commands, and I'll spare him the trouble of punishing you. Oh, you're such a nice subordinate. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. The Thancred was up there doing the show with him, bastard. There he is, of course. Ah, there you are. Yes, I'm here. Come rest a while. You have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath for a time. At least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. Yes, please do. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. Yes, I know. They may be a whole of body, but the same cannot be said for their minds. When once a man is tempered, but it still suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, young. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Man, you don't need to stop with that crap. Nephila will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. But you can't, alright, man? You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. I know. Take some time to relax. Then return to the Waking Sands. When you are good and ready, we can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The world's problems won't solve themselves. The nerve of this guy telling me that. My goodness. That guy's an asshole. Doesn't show. Just freaking somewhere else when we need him. And telling me when I can take a break. It's a staking claims. Look, this. Oh yeah. Tuco meat. Caitlin is in need of meat. Alright, Caitlin. What is this place? Let's just take a porter up there. Freaking Caitlin. Oh, that's not a porter. Porter's up here. In the time it takes me to find a porter, I'd be there by now. Or a chocobo. Keep. Yes. Yes. Discounting porters, well mounted. I hope I'm going the right way. Will appear in your stats effects bar. You can end your ride at any time by selecting discounts. Looks that I am. Be aware, however, that once you have dismounted, the chocobo or falcon will continue on to its destination, leaving you behind. Okay, that's cool. Here we are. Team Gil for that. Tuco. One more. In case you don't know how to count, right? Fantastic. Alright, let's go visit Caitlin, whose town does not have an aetheryte crystal. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, it does. Right there. I'm gonna refill my coffee. Be right back. Delicious cup of coffee. And Caitlin's freaking to-go meat. She had better be pleased. Where are you, Caitlin? Am I in the wrong town? Oh yeah, I was supposed to drop this off to her brother-in-law. I knew that. Wonderful. Let's go back to town. This guy in chat. Can you wait on the Big Bang thing? No, they're not gonna wait. Hightail it. Where is the Big Bang thing? Over here. See if I can put timestamps for chat. There, I can right there. Stamp it all. What time is that? Server time. Eastern time. Local time. Okay, it's local time. Alright. What's this dude's name? Benagar, that's right. Bender, nice to see you. I just went through quite an ordeal with a flaming dragon type deal. Thank you. What is that damn Tuco meat I asked Caitlin to bring? Won't be long before my patrons arrive. Here you go. Caitlin has sent you? Excellent. This is more than enough Tuco meat. Some miners have come to stay at the bazaar while they prospect the area for mithril deposits. They value quantity over quality. I'll be serving them a feast of this piss-poor meat. By the by, please don't tell me Caitlin is still standing at that same spot in Drybone sending adventurers out to slay mongrels. I told her no number of mongrel pelts or heads will bring my brother back to us. I've moved on with my life. It's past time she did the same. Hey, you're preaching to the choir, Benagar. Right. Classes jumps. Attributes. Recommended gear. I am already wearing. Oakley dokley. Now where? Oh yeah, back to the shifting sands. Because of Thancred is an a-hole. No hiring, huh? He needs help finding help. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. Need help finding help. I can't wrap that around my brain. Alright, Lord of the Inferno. We better have some nice rewards. We'll take the long way, shall we? I need my rug. No rug. Got smooth floors and chair with wheels. Can't. Let's take a porter. Take it a long way because I want to enjoy the sights. How about that? Desperate Bay. That's where I'm going, right? Yes, it is. Yes. Just counting how many questers we pass that are killing mobs. I'm gonna say 3. Be right back. Not far, there's 1, 2, maybe 2. Is that, do they have to? Yeah, no, just 1. Alright, what's this guy got? guy. If I had a glamour, let's do color my world. Let's show you a whole new world of colors. Cool. You there. Yes, you. The decisively unfashionable adventurer. How dare you say that? Good be gods be good. Never in my life have I seen such unapologetic focus on function at extreme cost to form. The mere sight of you fair makes my eyes bleed. As a lover of all things aesthetically pleasing, I cannot in good conscience allow you to continue roaming the realm in that sorry state. I believe your appearance can yet be salvaged through the use of color. I can say the same about you. What the hell are you wearing? I will teach you how to go about dyeing your outfit, but first, I must have a drink. The heat has given me a vicious thirst, and I won't be able to talk for any length of time. I hear you. Oh yeah, that's fun. Be a dear and buy me a bottle of orange juice at that stall by the northern gates, would you? Once I have moistened my throat, we shall see to the business of remedying your appearance. Remedying my appearance. Orange juice, northern gate. Which way is north? I would assume. Oh, I got a compass. I knew that. Merchant and vendor. That looks like a gate, and this is north. Purchase weapons. No. Purchase items. Orange juice. There we go. You got your Ode. Quality dress. Amazonian. Pray tell, have you brought my orange juice? Does she have forgotten? The merchant sells it. Yes, I got the freaking orange juice. I had more. Well, phew, that's a relief. Finally, I can teach you how to bring color into your life. Listen well. There are handy items called colorants, which allow folk to dye their outfits a veritable rainbow of colors. These colorants are so simple to use and adventurers have no excuse to be fashion unconscious. Indeed. Unless you worry that dyeing will affect your garment's precious properties, you may rest assured it will not. The practicality you adventurers love so much will not suffer for the change in appearance, a change for a better. The practicality you adventurers love so much will not suffer for the change in appearance, a change for the better. It should also gladden you to know that garments can be dyed repeatedly, so there is no fear of getting knocked to one color. The garish pink that seemed like such a wonderful idea after a dozen glasses of red can be undone. And that is all you need to know about dyeing gear. Now what are you waiting for? Get out there and bring some color into your life. Cool. Dye. We're now able to dye items. To dye a piece of gear, you must first have the proper color. The color can be crafted and purchased in stores. Alright, how do I craft dye? You can paint your furniture. Nice. Alright, what load would it be for this guy? If I had a glamour. I hear this is the end game. Let's get it out of the way. I would agree. Oh dear, this will never do. My sense of aesthetics simply won't allow it. How can you go out dressed like that? Simple. I look good. And you, on the other hand. My dear, if only you'd spare a thought for style and coordination. I hope your garb holds up during a scuffle because there's little else to going for it. Now that's just cruel. That's it. I've made up my mind. From this day forth, I shall take it upon myself to save you from any more fashion disasters. Let me see. So much that needs to be addressed. Where to even begin? Be a dear and get me a drink. I'm feeling rather parched. And this is a matter best discussed over a glass of something cold. Let's go to the Pissed Pesty and ask full Klein. I'll have some blood orange juice and tell her to make sure there's no pulp in it. Now off you go. What's her name? The Where is that? Is that the bar here? Oh, fine. This has to be it, right? Where am I? How do I know where I am? Alright, this seems like a hotel. Let's try here. Check in there. And here. Yeah. Freaking game holds my hand. And I'm trying to figure it out myself. Anyways. Oh, Surgeon sent you, did she? That woman. I've never known anyone so lazy. Would it kill her to come and get it herself? I think so. Here you are. You shouldn't let her push you around, you know. Give her an elm and she'll take 'em all. That's fine. I get some return. Okay. So how's that drink coming along? Got your drink. Oh, delicious. Even better on a hot day. Some say I have an expensive taste, but life's too short to settle for second best. Of course, this extends to my choice of wardrobe, too. I beg to differ, lady. Think that looks good? I don't. Now that I'm feeling refreshed, shall we get started? Do you know, dear, you'd look a lot less drab if you knew how to apply glamours. What's a glamour, you ask? Well, they use a glamour prism as a catalyst to project the image of one item onto another. It's just an illusion, mind, but very convincing. This means the original object stays aesthetically essentially the same. It just takes on a new appearance, that's all. Remember, if you fancy a change, you don't have to stick with the same glamour. Just apply another one on top, or use a glamour dispeller to return the object to normal. Why sacrifice style for such humdrum trifles as durability or protection from bodily harm? Limitless possibilities for self-expression are just a couple of glamours away. Go ahead, give it a try, and do make it quick, dear, for my sake. I'm finding your uninspired attire more and more offensive with each passing moment. I should slap you. This is Green Beret. Glamour Prison Cast Glamour, Glamour Plate. Alright. What is this? Glamour dressers and in-rooms are now available. You may use dressers to transform items into glamours and create ensembles for quick and easy use. Oh, another one from her. Yay, glamours. Glamour dresses. Sorry by adding gear to any glamour dresser, where it is instantly transformed into glamour. Next, use glamour plates to create full sets of glamour attire, which can be applied to your character all at once. Alright, okay, level 15, absolutely glamorous. And why can I not accept this quest? Disciple of the Hand. What is this? Halo Halatali. What did you have to say there, old timer? Can't wear that, can't wear that. Not an upgrade. Okay, sure. Hail there, adventurer. I'm Nedrick Ironheart, an explorer by trade and a scion by allegiance. And you, my friend, look to me an adventurer in need of a challenge. You're right. I happen to know just the place that will offer it to you. I'm all ears. Tucked away in a corner of eastern Thanon lies Halatali, and it is there that you will find all the excitement you crave. I'm listening. The place boasts a storied history. It was built some 100 years past as a training ground for gladiators. Nice. The Calamity... One second. The Calamity laid ruin to it, though, as it did to most things. Now Halatali is a shadow of its former self, but in the dark of that shadow lurk wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. For one such as yourself, I dare say there is no place finer than Halatali to test your skills and refine your technique. Indeed, I've taken the liberty of passing your name along to the Flames, who oversee the place. Should you visit, speak with one Afajoni near the entryway. Afajoni. Let's see where this is on the map in relation to where I am. I was just there. Okay, let's see. Go visit Thancred, so he can remind us how sorry he is for leaving us hanging. I'm glad I took the long way. Ishtola? Who's this guy? And she doesn't have a name. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Thanks. My late arrival nearly cost Yomi her life. I wasn't there when the Amaja took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, that is the running story with Thancred. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but does that excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone? I failed her utterly, just as I'm failing you all. Freaking failure. What's done is done, Thancred. You can't ill blame yourself for every... Yomi, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Yeah, just another day for me, okay? Jeez. Dankred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear. And now we can put pay to our long investigation, of course. Let's focus on why we're here, people. As we suspected, the Amanja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is the tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. Yeah, that is true. I dare say you're curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Please do. Do something. Seriously, Thancred. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of the Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether. Crystals. We need those things. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with why the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you were subjected. Yeah, that was weird. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess. The Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. Cool. It is as though a greater power protects us. Yeah, I can see why you'd believe that. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. I do. And I am grateful. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. Of course it would, because you're not going to be there. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. Cool. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Yoni. Well, you may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who failed Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. I think I will, thanks to Thancred. I'm gonna hang that over his head for a while, till he proves otherwise. Whether she intends to or not, and feel neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death. Well, that is unfortunate. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. It is very unfortunate. And so the Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Yomi. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Well, I guess it's just fate that you weren't there. Or me be putting you down. God's forgive me. How many more lives? Louis So would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Yes, you do, Sancred. Yes, you do. Alright. Quite the dialogue there. A lot of new information. My newfound fame. They just love blowing things out of proportion. I have such a great marketing team. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorza. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Y'shtola that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally best the primal Ifrit. Yeah, so? What are you trying to say? You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. Alright. We have guests, Yomi, or rather, you have guests. Well, I didn't invite them. Beg our pardons. Out with it. Ah, Lady Minfella, radiant as always. Yeah, she is. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. Okay. As you can see, Yomi, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorza. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Yomi's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Eep! Yeah, Tataru. Your reputation precedes you. Mistress Kaisuri, 'tis no ordinary woman who can face her primal and emerge victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join our strength to yours. Join your strength to ours. Friend, and together let us ensure the peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. Okay. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mr. Kaisuri. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. And next, the Admiral was not exaggerating when she had you look at when she said you have the look of a hero. How often does she speak of you, friend? You guys have such low standards, that's all. As do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of the Eorza took note, your name was well known to us, owing to your valorous deeds on behalf of our citizens. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Huh. Lady Mithila. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorza: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, and the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the grand companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I can see that is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold a remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. Okay, you are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Lomi hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. Oof. A lot of story here, and we eagerly await your answer. I've already made up my mind. Well, not really. Maybe it'll change. I know full well that Rangers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of the military service. But I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Yomi, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are, you are but one woman. In the midst of grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will be the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorza as a whole, similar yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of locations. Cool, a cell phone. Eorza is changing, Yomi, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring. As long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Wow, she really makes a compelling argument. Okay, finally. That was a lot of text to read. And where are we headed? Tali have been here. Camp Dry Bone. Let's finish this. And after I get to finish this one, I will log off for the night. Short, because I haven't done it in a while. And I missed it. Okay. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you are too. Tuco. Made a lot of progress with the story, which is good. New information. What is this part? That's right. Papa Joni. I think I remember. If it is the halls of Hatali you seek, you needn't seek no further. Permit me to tell you something of this place. The name comes from an ancient tongue. Halatali, meaning the land of many shadows. It was here that our distant ancestors first settled. And, bah, you have not come all this way for a lesson in history. Hey, what was all these, man? Shh, listen. Do you not hear the howls and yells? Do you not feel how they shake the very earth beneath you? Those sounds are the work of no wind, my friend, nor that rumbling the doing of any shadows. Those are the calls of Halatali. For now the beast once kept for the Colosseum lurk here. And these are no gentle beasts broken by the hand of man. No, there are those within that even the might of the immortal flames cannot tame. But look at you, you must be yummy. I received word from Nedrick that you might be along. By his recommendation, I grant you leave to enter the freely. Only pray you are able to find yourself a way out. Seems my reputation does not precede me. Accessible, okay. Hero in the making. Where is this in relation to where I am? Is that? I thought so. Alright, I'm gonna cheat this time and use my scroll. Where is it in? This is not an inn. It's bedtime for me, I'm tired. This is not an inn either. Tataru. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Yami. I might have sung your praise a little too loudly, and often to a few many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder. That looks cool. Will hold the first of the 3 services. Elder Sea Seeker Connie Sene will deliver her address at Miketo's amphitheater. I want that freaking robe. It looks so Jedi. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the service might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Oda, where the Flame General Ruban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. I can't wait. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lomensa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merwin Blosfiswin will be given her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to this entry, Zenithel, and he will admit you. Got all that? Not really. Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance service suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though. With your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Thank you. The Black Shroud. Gridania? Let's go to Gridania. Okay, finally, once I land here, I will log for the timing to tomorrow. How long was 1 hour? Not bad. I felt like 2 hours. Alright. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.